Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kira at Birth.of.a.madame, and I'm here to check in for the full moon reading. Full moon is in Aquarius, and this morning I pulled a few cards for the collective. And as I did, I also collaged my own little message. So what it says here is, in the beginning is you, in the middle is you, and in the end is you. And it was pulled from a little yogi tea bag. I feel like I always get the same message from yogi tea, and I kept that one because I had never gotten it before. And I really like it. So let's get into the reading, and then maybe we can reflect back on this image. The first card I pulled was from the Sun and Moon Tarot, and it was the Queen of Cups. Go ahead and feel all that you are feeling. Water of water, there is an immense flow. There will be a rushing. There will be a heavy release with this full moon. Before I go too far, I then pulled from the Croix Lenormand and received the birds, which speaks to community, networking. I see that as a shared grief in the collective. I feel as though many of us are amidst a great flow of something that's pouring out from deep within our centers, deep within, to unveil a truth. And it's not just a solo journey, it is a reflection of many. And then from the Mother's Wisdom deck, I pulled Demeter, which really affirmed that grief message for me. This card is entitled Loss. Of course, Demeter was the mother of Persephone, who was taken to the underworld. When she was released, there was a deal struck between Zeus and Hades that Persephone would only have to return 4 months out of the year, in which Demeter declares winter. In this card, I'm really focusing on the reflection of water, of the Queen of Cups, speaking to the grief. This green color, green-yellow, reflects into here about this is a journey of many in the collective. That color is being reflected. And Demeter's here to say she's been there for us already. She's walked this path already. In that pouring out, there can be a rest of winter. And as we shift towards the energy of the equinox, I'm mindful of that. So the message came loud that I used a little more of my divination tool of my own, which is to do a found poem from a page from a book, and I tore this page from a double copy that I have of Wild Mercy by Mirabai Star, and it goes like this. Mother Earth informs the way we leave this world. Majesty can relax to brief incarnation, a little flower, resplendent in humility. And I'll read it again. Mother Earth informs the way we lead this world. Majesty can relax to brief incarnation, a little flower, resplendent in humility. And that was from page 68 of Wild Mercy by Mirabai Starr. And when you deduce 68, you get 5. And 5, of course, is the Hierophant. And that was a card that fell out of the deck today, and I kind of said, no, I'm not going to address Hierophant energy today, but it showed up anyway. So I believe on this journey through grief, this collective journey through grief, we will be coming face to face with our own inner truth, our own set of, I want to say, tomes of knowledge, the things that are written on our own hearts, and that is what will guide us. But first, the grief. In the beginning was you, in the middle is you, and in the end is you. Of course, the spiral from within. 3 aspects of you in communion. A light that shines within. And the connection of us all. From there we came, if you see this as the Great Mother, the center of a woman's anatomy, a femme anatomy. From there we're birthed. So I wanted to pull a few more cards as we're moving out of this grief and the illumination of the Aquarius full moon, a healing full moon. What further message does the Mesquite Tarot have for us on the eve of this Aquarius full moon? Oh, you can hear that. A helicopter coming through the yard. We're close to a interstate. I apologize. What further message for the collective on the eve of this Aquarius full moon? And we have the leader of wands. Her dress is a flame. Her wands form a sturdy structure. On the other side of this healing, of this pouring out of all of this water, if you see Demeter's path turns to flowing, and of course the Queen of Cups is water of water. We have a little bit of air. I think this is the thread of all of us together in community. So at the end of that, the illumination will be fire. A sturdy structure of fire, of creation. When you pour all of that grief energy out, then there's space for fire. There's space for great creation. This is a great grief. A mother's grief. What bigger grief can there be than a mother's grief? I may be speaking to the collective motherhood grief that we all find ourselves in. when that is all poured out and the illumination happens, then the fire, then the rising. I'm going to read the passage from the Leader of Wands. The leader has gathered their own style, found a home in creating, in shirking convention, where they thrive and burn bright. Unhesitantly, unfalteringly themselves, they walk with an assurance that lends them awe, a singular kind of person. Their differences define their charm. They are visionary, an artist, an experimental innovator. They carve space for unique expression. They own it. The leader doesn't bother adjusting themselves to fit expectations. Their majesty of expression asks the world to accommodate. Magnetized by natural energy, the leader enjoys the glow of attention. Their creative flame roars loud. Sometimes so loud they can't hear other voices. Closed off from listening, from being even slightly wrong, they can come off as domineering or brash, arrogant. Sometimes the leader needs a reminder that openness can be an act of boldness as well. I want to go back to the leader has gathered their own style, a singular kind of person. Their differences define their charm. They are visionary, an artist, an experimental innovator. When the grief is released, when the path is cleared, this is all of us, when we are all poured out and our path has been made clear by our grief, only then can we stand as our own unique voice, clear and sturdy in the vision we have for ourselves, illuminated by the full moon. A healing is happening. A healing is happening. And when we pour all the way out, space. Grounded space for your inner flame to shine bright. To get a clarifier on the vision. Clarifying the vision. Seven of Blades. The Seven of Blades is saying this, they're climbing over a collection of people, a collective people. And I want to say that they're prepared to do all that's necessary to achieve their space as the leader. When your vision is clear because you've made all the room, because you've poured out all of the grief, and there's all the room for a firm structure for your brightness to shine out of, it will be work to set yourself apart. It's going to look like work. That's creation. Creation is work. Grief space. So deep of a grief space, a mother's grief. Firm foundation for your light to shine, and whatever visions you have will take work. Will take all of your cleverness. Will take all of the things that you have in that knapsack, all of the thoughts that you have ever thought. Okay, maybe not all of them, but 6 really good ones in this case. And they will be for a collective. Those thoughts, when you work to shine brightly as the leader, those thoughts, those ideas, those manifestations set you apart, where people will take notice. I'm going to use this story medicine. That was the Dust to Onyx. I'm going to use the Story Medicine Tarot for a support in all that work. All that work. Oh, and we got 7 of Swords again. It is your own path. This is your own path, informed by the grief you've sustained. This is a solo journey. This is, if you're not watching Unseen Healing Hands on YouTube, go to hers. Go to her Aquarius full moon reading. This is what's happening. This is what's happening in the collective. We're being asked to grieve. We're being asked to empty out the rest of whatever is. Whatever is this giant mother grief within us. Pour it out. Pour it out. Look at me, not very organized. For your light to shine. For your vision to manifest. For your structure to be solid so that you can follow the path, your unique path. There's no other way. That is what we're being asked of us right now, to tear down the structures that no longer serve us. And that may be the collective grief. There are so many structures within our collective that are not working for each and every one of us. Those structures cause a collective grief. And when we each shine our unique light, we are being asked to be true to our path. And it takes work each and every day. 7 of Blades twice. 2 different iterations. Maybe I read the Story Medicine Tarot version. The Wisdom Way. I am the wisdom way. The way of the highest truth and integrity. Did you hear that giant wailing in my neighborhood? The wisdom way is a giant wailing. It is that loud within you, the wisdom way. And when it's not being sung, hollered, spoken through, waves and waves and waves of grief, it can be heard first by you and then by the collective. The wisdom way. I am the wisdom way, the way of the highest truth and integrity. My pathway is one of healing learning and growing. It is not traveled on with eyes or the mind. The steps must be felt deep inside, and that's that fire. It takes the wisdom way to shine this bright, speaking your truth, all of it, all of your truth, to many. First to yourself, and then to many. Thank you for bearing with me, just grabbing at cards. If you'd like this reading, you can book with me through Birth.of.a.madame on Instagram. I'll link that below. I do 30 and 1 hour reads via Zoom. I'm also just now offering a mail service where you will get a collage, hand cut and pasted by me, based on a 3-card reading, and I will pull from my decks that I'm no longer using for myself, and I'll send them to you in the mail. 3 cards, and they will look like oracle or tarot or both, and maybe a Lenormand. Either way, it will be a whole divined message that will be reflected in a collage by me and in a found poem out of many of the books that I have reserved for that part of me, that divination part of me. I will send those cards and your hopefully altar offering or meditation. You can use this for meditation. I'll send that into the mail for you. I'm opening it up for 11 people in September, just to see how that goes. Find me on Instagram. Click like here, subscribe so you can keep connected. I'm hoping to do new moon and full moon readings, and I am so happy that you're here. If you want to book to further look into the energy of this Aquarius full moon and the healing grief that we're in so that we can all speak our own truth, I'd be happy to hold space for that. DM me on Instagram. Thank you, and full moon blessings to you.